Mike, thank you very much for joining us here in India for the Global Forum. It's been a great day. And Mike, there's enormous growing interest in action learning all over the world. I think a question that we are asked quite frequently, if you had to describe action learning very briefly, how would you describe it?
Well, I would describe it as a problem-solving leadership development tool that organizations use where you have a group of people trying to solve a difficult problem, and while they are doing it, they are improving. They're getting smarter as a group. They learn as a team. And action learning generally has 6 elements. First, it's built around an urgent, important problem. You have a group of 4 to 8 people with different perspectives. They use a methodology of asking questions more than making statements, so that they're learning and working well as a team.
It's problem solving and capability development all put together.
Right, it does all of those together. And what makes it work is the action learning coach, which assures that the group will not only be coming up with great strategies, but each individual and the team as a whole is becoming more effective. We're not the experts necessarily. There's people from different perspectives who can ask new and fresh questions that will help the group be more creative.
So this overcomes the challenge of getting more of the same thinking in organizations with the diversity coming in.
Right. I think the diversity of the team members, also the group is encouraged as they ask questions, they bring out other elements of the diversity, and the coach helps them become aware of the power and value of their diversity.
The many different applications of action learning. We've had previous discussions that action learning can be used for many different applications in large organizations, small organizations. How would you summarize the various applications of action learning?
Well, what makes action learning so powerful, it has many benefits simultaneously. The team is learning how to work as a team, and then ultimately the organization culture begins to change, so that a final benefit, you create a learning organization, which makes it much more competitive.
Mike, action learning is being embraced by many organizations all over the world to solve a variety of problems, challenges. Could you share with us some of the more significant clients that WILE has all over the world and the types of projects that they've engaged action learning to address?
What is wonderful about action learning, it can work in any culture, any part of the world, with large corporations, small firms, academic institutions. So some of the organizations that we've worked with recently, Microsoft has used action learning for many of its major projects. Wells Fargo Bank, when it's trying to improve marketing or customer service. Panasonic has used it, and it's being used in many government agencies. U.S. Department of Agriculture. In Singapore, many of the ministries use it. And the projects really quite vary. It can be how to help prisoners when they leave prison to be more, and do job interviews and be more effective members of society. It can help a bank be more customer focused and develop strategies on how they can change the mentality of their employees. With an organization like Sony Music, how can they increase the income that they get from their artists and singers, and come up with a variety of different strategies.
So what you're saying is, if I'm understanding you correctly, that these sort of action learning projects can also be very directly used to improve performance on key business metrics as well?
Yes, I think usually the problem is something that's urgent to the organization, that's critical for its success, immediate success as well as long-term success. So action learning always you can measure the results. You can see if we can achieve that target, you can measure how action learning can improve the organization.
So Mike, just in a nutshell, could you share with us just very briefly your vision for the World Institute for Action Learning over the next few years?
Well, we're very appreciative how WILE India has grown and beginning to impact both the corporate and government sector throughout India. We hope that there'll be many other chapters throughout the country. So our goal we would have is that we'd like to see every country and every organization and every group use action learning, because it's a great way to solve problems, build wonderful leaders, and have a good time doing it.
Okay. Mike, we've also discussed on various occasions that WILE has a very strong mission, also to, for the social good,
right.
To make a difference to the world. Could you just share with us, some of the non-commercial
Sure.
applications of action learning, and I believe some very exciting things have been happening around that. If you could share a little bit of that.
Sure. An example would be the United Nations Environmental Program. They wanted to build a carbon neutral headquarters in Nairobi, and they had an action learning group that came up with these design strategies, fundraising for it, and within 12 months the center was open. The UN program for refugees used action learning to help with the problems that they were having with refugees in northern Africa. Many community-based organizations use action learning to get more engagement of their citizens, their folks. But we're trying to, action learning, we believe, makes the world a better place. So we look for opportunities to serve the community.
So, Mike, what you're saying is that the whole action learning process can be used really for the social good in many different countries.
Sure. I think community organizations, nonprofit organizations, they have very important urgent problems, and they need great ideas with limited resources and time that they have. So action learning can work on social problems, community problems, as well as corporate, profit-making problems.
Yeah, well, I guess it's great to be part of WOW, where we can make a difference to, business organizations, the community, as you say, make the world a better place. And in conclusion, Mike, thanks very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in India. Good luck and God bless for your travels home, and all the best for you and Italy.
Okay, it was great being here in India. I enjoyed the global conference. Congratulations for your great work on that, and good luck with WOW India.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks very much.
Thank you.